Hey guys, Retro Dude here. Thanks for visiting my channel again, where we check out all things retro. We do focus heavily on video games, but occasionally we go into anime, cartoons, movies, anything retro. I like to take a look at it and reintroduce it to you guys. I recently got my hands on a TurboGrafx-16 mini. This is a mini version of an old console, basically the TurboGrafx-16. We actually owned this console back in the days and we had a ton of fun playing it. It actually, as far as the mini consoles goes, it offers a really good variety of those games that it had. So it's a very good release in my opinion of the mini consoles. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about a game for the TurboGrafx-16 is because this game is ignored on the mini version of the console. It didn't show up, they never even mentioned it, and even on the Wii Virtual Console it was never released. So this is a game that you could just basically pass by and you would never even know existed. However, it was one of the launch titles that was on the TurboGrafx-16, if I remember correctly, and it showcased a lot of what it could do. So I want to talk a little bit about it, reintroduce it to you guys so you guys could check it out and see what I'm talking about. The game is Legendary Axe. This was released in 1989. It's a side-scrolling hack and slash platformer. The graphics are really good on this game. Like just off the memory, I remember the last boss like being this huge massive guy that took up like half of the screen, and he was like flashing, and like you would see like eyeballs trying to pop out of him, which is really cool. I remember that last boss. I also remember how satisfying just the crack of the axe was. I mean, it's called Legendary Axe. So basically you would get like a meter as you would power it up, and just over time it would get stronger. So when you initially start, there's no power up, and so you just like, it sounds like a thumb, like quick, quick, quick. But as you progressively get stronger, you hear like a satisfying sound of the axe, just like clack, and just like pop, and like it keeps changing and getting a little bit stronger till the end. It was just like a huge explosion across the screen, like so, which is really cool. It was oddly satisfying just to let the axe power up, so you could hear the huge snap of the axe when you hit an enemy on that. So another thing that I remember about it is it has a pretty decent soundtrack on that. I still actually have like 2 or 3 songs of it on my games playlist, so we're gonna check that out as well. The gameplay was actually pretty consistent, if I remember correctly. It was challenging, but not to the point where like, oh my god, you're gonna pull your hairs out. Now, back in those days, basically, they all played like arcade games. So whenever you would lose, it would take you back to the beginning of the stage. So that was the difficulty part of it. Like you would never continue on where you died off. So that's basically the difficulty that it had. I do remember the last stage being confusing. Like you would go through like A through Z stages. So the last stage actually was just annoying in the fact that you would go back and forth just trying to figure out where to actually go next. There is a part two to the legendary axe, but though I don't think it was actually a legendary axe. They just basically tagged that title onto it. If I remember right, the character didn't even have an axe. Like, what the hell's up with that? So for the purposes of this video, let's just ignore the part two and just pretend that it never happened. And just let me tell you right now, legendary axe never really got a sequel. Now the reason why I'm thinking about it is because this game showcased what the TurboGrafx-16 was capable of. I would have definitely liked to have seen this instead of like Keith Courage, which was a pack-in game for the TurboGrafx-16. So most people who owned the TurboGrafx-16 played it, but it didn't showcase much. Honestly, it was kind of a dull game, in my opinion. So Legendary Axe would have been a much more solid choice if they would have gone that route. Back when it was released in 1989, this game actually got a Game of the Year by EGM magazine. So that's a pretty good feat in its own right. Basically, they talked about what I'm saying right now. Like, it had a really good soundtrack. It had really nice, vibrant colors in it. The gameplay was solid. So all around, it was a really good game. And as always, if you like my content, don't forget to click the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. It helps the YouTubers out. So, you know, I don't know how it helps out, but do it anyways. Thanks for joining me again as we checked out this awesome game. If you guys have any suggestions, don't forget to leave a comment and I'll check that out and I'll take it into consideration. If you remember any old retro style games or even new games, I mean, I'm not tethered to just retro games. I'm actually thinking of reviewing newer style games as well. So just give me a comment and I'll check it out. Again, thanks for joining me, and as always, stay retro.